Hey, what's up, guys? It's Seeker here, uh, joined by my good friend Outworld, and we're gonna have a little fun, friendly debate about Scorpion. Who's the best Scorpion? Why Kuai Liang shouldn't be Scorpion, and etc. And I'll let Outworld introduce himself, and then I'll let him start. Go ahead.
What's up, guys? Outlaw Dragoon here. I go by Dragoon X Bandit. You can check out my YouTube if you want to. I make all different kinds of videos. Um, I'm happy to be here, and I'm actually a little interested uh, about this because um, I'm not a big fan of Liu Kang's timeline. So me and Seeker have decided just to sit down and have a nice talk. So
Right.
thanks.
Yep. Right. No problem. All right. I'll let you start with the whole Scorpion thing because I know you disagree with me
Oh
liking
yeah.
Kuai Liang. So go ahead.
Uh, well, in my childhood, Kuai Liang was everyone has their character that they loved when Mortal Kombat came out, and Kuai Liang was mine. When I first saw him in in MK2, and then especially in MK3 as Maskless Sub-Zero, that was the character that I won second place USA tournament in Mortal Kombat 3, and also on the X-Band system. It was the first ever dial-up like type of, it was DSL. It was over dial-up, and we would plug our X bands into the Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo, and you could play all your friends all across the country. And I actually dominated most of the scene with Kuai Liang. So I've always had this great attachment to that character and who he was. Just being Sub-Zero's younger brother, just the fact of seeing Bihan turn to basically the dark side and give in to his lust and the rivalry with Hanzo Hasashi. So now when Liu Kang starts his universe, all of a sudden my favorite character is now my worst enemy. So yeah, that's the start of it. That's where I could begin. So what do you think about that?
So your worst. Explain that to me. What do you mean by your worst enemy?
Sub-Zero for the Lin Kuei. The Shirai Ryu are dogs. That's why we crushed their clan. Um, and it's always been that way. That the Shirai Ryu and the Lin Kuei were always at war with one another. And now all of a sudden we have to play buddy buddy kissy makeup.
Okay. Well, I won't go too far in deep on my favorite character because my favorite character is mostly Ermac, but we
Mhm.
won't go there. Um. So where exactly do you disagree on the fact that Kuai Liang should not be a Scorpion?
Well, because Hanzo Hasashi is the real Scorpion in my eyes. Um, he's Kuai Liang is supposed to be the good guy, which he is as Scorpion, right? But he was supposed to be the balance to Bihan. Kuai Liang was the not all of the Lin Kuei are bad, right? Because if you remember Sector and Cyrax, they even talked to Scorpion in MK9, and Cyrax is like, your inferior clan is dead, and you'll join them soon. uh, under Sector and Sector's father, the Lin Kuei really turned into, I guess, a bunch of thugs, kind of like how in the MK1 storyline, Liu Kang sets up um, Kung Lao and Raiden to fight thugs, but they're not really thugs. But in the original, um, the Lin Kuei were ruthless, and I understand Quan Chi had his fingers in all that, and like, kind of manipulating Sector and his father and making them do the bidding. Even the Lin Kuei. Again, I'll quote Raiden. Raiden told Cyrax, he said, "Wait, why are you here at the tournament?" And Cyrax said, "We were invited by Shang Tsung." And Raiden said, "So you're here to kill your own people because you're hired guns, kind of. I don't remember exactly what he said, but Kuai Liang was the light side. I don't really know how to describe it, but he was the good guy that tried to um, balance out the evil that was within the Lin Kuei, and he later fought against the Cyber Initiative. He joined forces with Hanzo to defeat the Cyber Initiative. So to me, he was always the hero of the clan that had a really bad reputation of just going around and messing everybody up. So he was my like inspiration in Mortal Kombat. And I think that's why I always liked him. Hanzo's story to me is probably the best story in the entire universe of Mortal Kombat. It's old fashioned, but at the same time, Scorpion dies watching his family be murdered and killed. It's kind of like the Crow. He's then sent to hell, and then he fights his way out of hell, and he even joins forces with Quan Chi for the sole purpose of killing the Lin Kuei. Um, Making Kuai Liang Scorpion kind of takes away that vengeful spirit that Scorpion was supposed to be, because Hanzo himself, he's like, you will not call me Hanzo anymore. My name is Scorpion, and I'm a vengeful spirit, and I'm here to destroy anyone that gets in my way for my revenge. And now in the new one, we don't have that.
Okay. Okay. I see where you're coming from. So here's my thing. So yes, I do love Kuai Liang as Sub-Zero myself. I thought he was like my favorite Sub-Zero at the time. He I understand what you're coming from. He basically, the clan's a bunch of assassins, so they essentially will be whatever as long as there's money to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
The Lin Kuei set up the whole situation between Hanzo and his clan being killed off because they wanted to kill Scorpion and his clan because they were rivals. It didn't make sense because one clan's Japanese and the other one's Chinese. So I don't know how the fuck they're gonna have rivalries, but Mortal Kombat logic. So Scorpion, so they make a deal with Quan Chi essentially, and what happens is Quan Chi turns himself into Sub-Zero, Bihan. They kill their entire clan. They murder Scorpion, aka Hanzo's family, by killing his wife and child. Then Quan Chi kills Scorpion, takes his soul because it died with a lot of anger and hatred and revenge and whatnot. And then he was reborn in another realm. He comes back as a specter or a wraith or a revenant, whatever people want to call it, because he wants to destroy the Lin Kuei and kill Sub-Zero as vengeance because he's consumed with anger, hatred, and etc. Totally understandable. So in Mortal Kombat 1, I believe he kills Bihan, which later becomes Noob Saibot. And then skip a couple games later, we find out that Quan Chi, actually no, then he meets Kuai Liang Sub-Zero because he's looking for his brother's murderer, as we saw in Mortal Kombat 9. He finds him and whatever, he gets captured, becomes Cyber Sub-Zero. And we later find out in Mortal Kombat X that it wasn't Quan Chi it wasn't Bihan that killed Scorpion's family and clan. It was actually Quan Chi, which he makes up with the younger Sub-Zero, which is Kuai Liang. They make amends. He tells him the truth. Scorpion is over here full of hatred still, even though he just got turned back into a normal human. He goes and kills Quan Chi, even though they told him not to because they were trying to revive his friends. He doesn't listen, beats the shit out of him, decapitates him. We go to MK11. We see that Sub-Zero and Scorpion are now best buddies, which is fine. I like that. And eventually Hanzo falls to a stupid attack that we both know would not land on
Right.
Scorpion. But they had to kill him off because essentially his whole life was family, vengeance, no, death, vengeance, uh revenge, amends, revenge, kill the guy, don't get friends saved, become Sub-Zero, younger Sub-Zero's best friend, and he dies. So
Yep.
essentially, uh, his story arc was basically completed at that point. So my view on that is that since Scorpion already had all that, the most that you can do with the character after having his redemption arc, which took a whole bunch of games, by the way, and in the remake, uh, since he already has his whole entire redemption arc from all his fuck ups and whatnot, my thing is that you can't really do much with that except make stories of him and Sub-Zero basically joining forces and being buddy buddy and probably rebuilding the Shiryu. But he basically did that in 11, if I remember correctly, because they built the fire gardens and etc. So since in MK11 the timeline gets destroyed, it's up to Liu Kang to make a new one. So my thing is, I wasn't sure if I wasn't expecting the whole change to Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 1. I didn't expect them to basically turn Kuai Liang to Scorpion. But I respected it and thought it was cool because again, these guys were mortal enemies because they were both looking for revenge and one already thought he found it, which was Scorpion. And essentially, hold on. That well, hey, what's up, Breezy? Hold on, we're having
Doing a little video.
yeah,
If you want to hang out, man.
You can hang out. We're doing a live
Are
debate.
you said what?
We're doing a live debate, but you can hang out if you want, man. Add your info in, man. You're welcome.
Oh, I don't know what you guys talking about.
We're discussing why he. So I like the fact that Kuai Liang is Scorpion now, and he doesn't. So I'm explaining my side right now.
Okay.
So basically, what I was saying, back to what I was saying, is that essentially when I found out that Kuai Liang was the new Scorpion, right? I thought that it made sense because one, Hanzo died. That's number one, right? It was a surprise. Number two, since they were all, they went from mortal enemies to rivals to best buddies. Who else, could take the mantle for Scorpion other than Kuai Liang, who basically like they respected each other after the whole making amends, you know what I mean? Like they became fucking friends. There was like a whole gameplay of just them talking shit and kicking ass.
Can I add something?
Sure.
Real quick. The original Hanzo is still not dead. The older one died, but the other one was still alive.
Well, the original died and his younger self took over. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if cryomancers come from Outworld,
right?
So we'd understand why Sub-Zero and has his abilities, but Hanzo or Kuai Liang and Scorpion, where did he get his fire powers from? Because he was supposed to get those from, he's not a cryomancer. He's a pyromancer. And the only way that Scorpion got his powers, Hanzo, was that he had to die to get them.
Right.
But this new Scorpion just magically has fire powers. So I don't get it. But I understand why I get what you're saying regarding the end of Hanzo's timeline and something needed to be done. I totally get that. And it's true. Throughout the entire history of Mortal Kombat, Hanzo has always had that same timeline, right? That every time he gets a wife and daughter or son, they're killed. Every time. Every single time he dies. Every single time he goes to hell, and no matter what timeline you're looking at, except for this new one. Any kind of manipulation in the time Hanzo Hasashi has always had the exact same timeline. So I get why they did it, right? I think, but at the same time, I think it was a little lazy. I would have liked to have seen both Bihan and Kuai Liang as Sub-Zeros, and then we could have gotten a different Scorpion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was done.
Okay. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, we did get a new Scorpion. It was Kuai Liang. I mean, look, to finish off to my point, since there were buddies and whatever, you can only do so much with Scorpion, right? As Hanzo. So what better way to respect the character if not give his mantle to his best friend, which is Sub-Zero Kuai Liang, right? Because
I like that. Yeah.
Because essentially what it is the passing of the guards. And if you were ever gonna give the mantle of Scorpion to anyone, it would make more sense that it was Kuai Liang, since they both went from foes to best friends essentially over the course of so many games. And essentially, with all the shit they've been through, who knows more about the Scorpion powers and abilities if not Kuai Liang? You know what I mean? And in a sense, the writers, in my view, did a perfect job in making him the new Scorpion, because he's still the Sub-Zero we know, right? He's just wearing different garbs with different powers. I can't tell you where he got his fire powers from, because they didn't really mention any of that. What I would guess is that his father is no longer a shapeshifter, or has a different power, or maybe the shapeshifting grants him different powers. I don't fucking know. That I can't answer, because this is a completely new era, and they didn't want to focus on giving us certain details about the game, like how the fuck the Scorpion has fire powers now. But I'd like it more simply to the fact that, so the way I see the Hanzo Hasashi Sub-Zero plot is that it was basically all a big ass misunderstanding, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have that much weight as it would if it came to like family. So now Sub-Zero and Scorpion are brothers. Sub-Zero let his father die. Sub-Zero doesn't want to be, Earth's protector, because he feels like that's essentially, how do you say, he feels that they can do more, right? And there might be some egotistical bullshit behind that, because Bihan always has to be a dick, which is cool. And essentially, I think that the family dynamic makes it more personal, because it's your brother, right? And who basically killed your dad,
right?
And now he's trying to kill you, or at least whoop your ass to get you back into shape or something. Now he's betrayed you. Now and he scarred you. You got into this whole big fight. He's now the bad guys. The whole Lin Kuei abandoned its principles, and we all know that Kuai Liang, now that he's Scorpion, he's still the Sub-Zero we know, except now he doesn't have ice powers.
Right. And I think that Bihan and Kuai Liang, I'll just say it like this. I think I know who Noob Saibot's going to be. And it's not going to be either one of them. Bihan, in my opinion, is going to kill Smoke, and we're going to get Noob Smoke from MK Deception. That's my theory. Because Bihan is going to have to lead the Lin Kuei, and he can't do that as Noob Saibot. Kuai Liang is going to do his best to try and stop this, whatever is coming in the new story. But I really think that Bihan is going to murder Smoke.
Yeah.
And Smoke is going to become Noob Smoke. Because he's a Ninra, right? In his soul, he's actually a Ninra. He always has been. So I don't think Bihan or Kuai Liang is going to die and become Noob Saibot. If anybody is going to become Noob Saibot, I think it would be Smoke, or Sector's father, because I don't know where they're going with it. Because we haven't even seen Sector yet. We haven't seen Sector.
We seen him in the ending for Sub-Zero. He's the guy with the little glasses.
Okay.
Yeah, he's wearing blue this
that's
time,
right.
apparently. Or at least that's what I think it is. See, my theory on who's going to become Noob Saibot might be Hanzo, because if you look at Smoke's ending, for some fucking reason, he's wearing black ninja clothing. So that could be a possibility. But back to the whole debate about which Scorpion should be Scorpion or not. I think that, you know, you have the brotherly aspect of the character, right? And, you know, he killed his father, betrayed his own brother, etc. And then when it comes to fighting, like, personally, I feel like this Scorpion fights more than the original, because the original, you don't really see him fight much. All you see him do is teleport and do some shit, and usually he's gone.
Dude, Kuai Liang as Scorpion is a total ass kicker. Like, he's a badass.
Oh yeah. And
yeah. I mean, he was taking on Shang Tsung and Quan Chi at the same time.
Right. And I think
so,
that go ahead, sorry.
No, that's all. That's what I was just saying.
And I think the fact that they made Kuai Liang Scorpion, I think it wasn't a disservice to Hanzo. I think it was more of a service to Hanzo, because think about it. Kuai Liang is now, you know, dealing with the whole revenge bullshit with Bi-Han, right? Kuai Liang in the original timeline never had time for love, so now he has Harumi, right? So they get married.
Is that in his ending?
Yeah, they get married.
Okay.
Kuai Liang gets married to Harumi. Her last name is Shirai, I think is her last name. Sorry, I couldn't pronounce it properly. So
he names the clan after her.
Yeah, so it's called the
right.
Shirai Ryu because he named it after her. And essentially what the Shirai Ryu now does is that they're not a dead clan. They're essentially a clan Scorpion created to be Earthrealm's defender. So essentially, the Lin Kuei abandoned their post. Scorpion said, fuck that. I may not trust Liu Kang now that much. Or my brother, especially. So I'm going to create a clan to defend Earthrealm, you know, under Liu Kang. Which basically means that they don't have to die yet. The clan gets to live, right? Harumi gets to live for now. And essentially, what happens is that Hanzo gets to live a semi-normal life, because now we don't know, you know, about his childhood, but we do know that he's a kid or a teenager, and he's gotten into he was found by Smoke and got initiated into the Shirai Ryu, so he doesn't have to go through the whole losing his family and kid bullshit and dying, at least for now, anyway.
I wouldn't mind 2 Scorpions. That wouldn't bother me. You know, Hanzo growing up under the wing of Kuai Liang and Smoke. I mean, I don't have a single problem with that. I'm kind of glad that they changed Kuai Liang, right? A little bit. Giving him a spear, I can live with that, but I want to see Hanzo, and I don't know why that bugs the crap out of me. I guess it's just because of the history, but it's because I've never seen an MK without Hanzo Hisashi before. So, and then when they made it Kuai Liang, I was like, what in the hell are they doing? And then I played the story. I think I've played the story like 3 times now. And you know, he's a great character. He's got the same heart and soul and fight and all that inside of him. He's just dressed different and he has different powers, which is fine. But I really do wish that Hanzo had played some kind of role in the main story, even if he was just a kid, right?
Right.
Just played some kind of role. So it's like, because why would Mortal Kombat take their golden boy, right? Their poster child. That's like taking Ryu out of Street Fighter, right? And it just kind of messed with me, because it's like I would say my 4 favorite characters ever in Mortal Kombat. Sub-Zero is number 1, Raiden is number 2, Scorpion is number 3, and Johnny Cage is number 4. Right, and it's always been that way. And to see Kuai Liang for the first time, I mean, it's cool how they gave him the scar, right? I'm glad they did that. He still has his heart, and what matters to him, and he's fighting for the people he cares about. But it just feels off, and I can't really describe it.
Well, yeah, I understand. It's because like Scorpion's been the main. Hanzo's been the main Scorpion for like 30 plus years, and then suddenly he dies, and the new timeline started changing everyone. So I can also see that.
I like Chronica's timeline better.
I fucking hate that story. Don't you start.
Well, Chronica is the reason we got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat 4, Deception, Deadly Alliance, Shaolin Monks. That's her timeline. MK9. That's all her timeline.
Well,
like, it's not just MKX and MK11, or you know what I mean? It's like the entire timeline was Chronica's doing. She created the original Mortal Kombat timeline. But I get what you're saying, man, because a lot of people are irritated by Chronica, right? And when she was in MK11, people hated that character.
Oh, she was over fucking powered, bro. That shit was atrocious. I mean, look, the MK11, the problem with the MK11 story is that it had a good concept, but the way that it was executed, it was very poorly. Like, I did appreciate the ending. I could appreciate some of the stuff, but like bringing the past selves, and then you got to deal with like this whole Marvel bullshit about, hey, look, I'm the older me, here's the younger me type shit. I would have wished that they would have brought like, we had a whole roster of other characters that could have just brought back and had them play those roles instead of like twins.
Another thing about Chronica is, the difference between Chronica and Liu Kang. They both get to shape the world as they saw fit and restarted time, right?
Right.
At least Chronica knew how to make women look good.
Yeah. Wow. She started to fuck up in MKX.
She lost her way in MKX. Yeah, that makes sense.
She was like, these bitches are too beautiful. So let me tone them down a little bit. And then MK11, she was like, oh no, Scarlet, she's too sexy. Let me make her look like a ugly nun.
It's not. There's nothing more funny than a skinhead, blue-eyed, superior being able to make beautiful women. And Liu Kang is like, he fell in love with Katana, right? And he loved Katana so much. And then whenever they couldn't be together, he said, you know what? If I can't have Katana, then no man can have a beautiful woman.
Yeah, he made them all ugly.
Jealous Liu Kang.
He was like, sorry, Katana, I love you, but you're gonna have to you're gonna have to look like someone did plastic surgery on your face in this one.
Yep. Liu Kang is like, if I ain't getting any, y'all aren't either.
Right? Well, I mean, Johnny might get some from the looks of it. Look, I don't mind. I know we're deviating a little bit, but I don't mind the fact that, Johnny and Katana could be a thing. I think that's a better change than Sonya nagging him for every fucking little thing.
Sonya's on the bitch bench. You know what's amazing? I know we're getting off topic, but even though the cameos are in the game, right? You notice how they didn't even really put them in the story mode. So they really got put on the bitch bench. We didn't see Jax. We didn't see Kano. We didn't see Sonya. We didn't see Darius. We didn't see these amazing characters, right? I know a lot of people don't like Darius. I think he's a fucking asshole, but he's a badass, and I always liked his character.
That's not true. Darius was in story mode.
He was in the story?
Yeah, so was
I don't remember.
So was Chameleon.
Oh yeah, that's right. For like 5 seconds. That's right.
Yeah, the company that cares about diversity and inclusion, and they couldn't even include the black guy.
Right.
Is it alright if I can interject right quick?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. I want to just go back to the point with Chronica, right? With on how this is her timeline back in MK9 whatnot. I would have to disagree on that. And I would say that I feel like she wasn't like, I'm not gonna use the term insert, like like the political term insert, right?
Right.
I'm saying as an insert, as throw it in there, right? like I'm using a perfect example. In Rise of Skywalker, right? Palpatine would be an example as a quick in insert, right? They brought him
Right.
in 2 months after the movie, well, before the movie was even done, right? They plugged him in. They even acknowledged in the movie with Poe Dameron, he was saying somehow Palpatine survived, somehow, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Chronica's case, right? The reason why I disagree with the fact that it's Chronica's timeline, because if we look at the original storyline, the one true being, right, was the most powerful being in the Mortal Kombat universe, right?
Right.
The Elder Gods beat him, but what they did was they split up the whole Kami-Dooku situation. This is why we
Mm-hmm.
have all the realms, the Chaos realm, another realm, Outworld, Earth realm, all this stuff, right? And they split them up into Kami-Dookus, right? And so, in my opinion, you can't be powerful than gods who created realms, right? Because if that is the case, if the elder gods are able to create realms, then they're able to create timelines.
Right.
You know, this
Well, they
is
had to.
because it kind of defeats the purpose of Raiden telling his past self from the future on how to redo his timeline.
Well, they had to
Yeah.
throw her in there to explain the Titans. That's the
Yeah.
first time that they had to, like you said, it's an insert. It's true, but they had to say, oh yeah, there's 5 Titans. They had to throw all this stuff in, right? When was it? When did they throw in the Titan stuff? Like hardcore, wasn't it MK11? They're
Yeah.
like, okay, so there's five
Yeah.
Titans, right? And this Titan is specifically designed to manipulate the timeline. So that's where I get my opinion from, is that they threw her in there. So because they haven't explained, they never did explain who created the realms besides the one being, but we don't know who the one being like actually is, right? We know
Yeah.
of it, but we've never seen it, right? So I get what you're saying though. It is a total insert. It's like
Yeah.
a plot armor.
Yeah,
They had to add
exactly.
it in.
Yeah.
They
It's
had to
a.
add it in. So
It.
I joke about it. Like that's why I say when I'm saying that, I don't actually mean that Chronica is 100% responsible for our older games. But what I am like poking at that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I know what you're
It's like,
saying.
Yeah.
yeah,
Because like
it's
there's actually YouTube polls, discussing whatnot. It was one YouTube poll and it had Chronicle on there. And this one guy was saying how Chronicle was the strongest out of all three of the people in the poll because she created the timelines and whatnot. And I was kind of like debating him back and forth in the comment section about that. So it's not coming at you with that. It's just I've already heard that statement before.
mhm.
So I just wanted to bring it
Yeah,
to light again.
Yeah.
that's good.
And it's
Yeah, that's a point. Oh,
and
go
it
ahead,
and
Seeker.
it,
My bad.
and basically it's weird because like even the whole one being thing is so convoluted because at one point people say that the elder gods defeated him, but then in the other story says that apparently he basically split himself into the other elder gods because they came from him and he disappeared apparently because he was too powerful or some shit, and then they created the Kami Dogu to keep the realms together or some shit. So that's confusing as fuck too.
Well, I think NetherRealm has always been like kind of just winging it, right? They're just kind of like, all right, what can we put together? Makes the most sense. And the Titans, I'd like to see the other Titans. I know you see all of them in what ending? It might be Scorpion's ending or somebody's ending, where they actually go and fight all the Titans or try to, anyways.
Yeah, the whole
So
Titan thing. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, so would you guys declare Titans to be stronger than Elder Gods?
Well,
'Cause it kind of defeats the purpose of being an Elder God.
yeah, according to Mortal Kombat, the Titans are stronger than the Elder Gods, even though the Elder Gods literally come from the one being. So I don't know how
Yeah,
that makes fucking sense. But hey, NetherRealm Studios.
Cetrion. Cetrion was an elder god, and she still had to sit at a table with other elder gods. And then they even said stuff like, well, the realms are falling apart and we're dying. So if they're, you know what I mean? If they're dying, that means that something else above them is taking their power away, because that's the only way you can die, right?
mhm.
So I don't really know. It's always been, like you said, little off the wall.
Yeah, and according to Liu Kang too, when he created his timeline, apparently, I guess he's stronger than the Elder Gods. So, well, was because he gave up his powers.
Well, he only had one duty, so I don't think he was actually that powerful. He had to restart history, but then he even said it himself. He's like, "There's only certain things that I could do. The rest is up for mortals to figure out." Right? They have to do it themselves. All I can do is start the clock.
Well, yeah,
And
yeah,
as for excuse me, as for Kuai Liang, I'm all right with it. I don't like it just because of the lore factor. But as for like, him being a character as who he is, but just with fire powers instead, and he's blood brothers. They were always blood brothers. I just wish that I wish Hanzo had had a bigger role. Why not? I mean, I know this is stupid, but NRS could have done this. Why not? Liu Kang created the realms, and Kuai Liang was trained under Hanzo Hasashi before he died. I don't know, just something like that. Just have some kind of like Hanzo. They could have made Hanzo older, all right, and he was, to train Kuai Liang or to have that influence in there. If they'd have just added him in there, as a short part of the story, he could have been an old man sitting, kind of like whenever Scorpion visited Kuai Liang and they sat down and had tea, right? They could have easily just done that and given us a little bit. I guess you call it fan service, given us a little bit, unless they're saving something. I don't know.
yeah. The problem with that is that, as we know, due to the season one, Scorpion Hanzo skin, is that every Scorpion in every timeline except this one suffers the same bullshit. So he went through different timelines in order to find, the one happiness for one Scorpion, and he couldn't find it. He only found it in this one. And uh when he got defeated, essentially Liu Kang was able to find another timeline where he had died and Harumi became, female Scorpion. The implications of that, it's weird, but hey, Netherrealms. She looks good in the costume though, I'll give her that. But
I want to change everyone now. Isn't Cyrax going to be a female?
yeah. I mean, look, I'm not too mad about that because, like, one, we need more female characters in Mortal Kombat. The little bit we have is kind of ass. And Cyrax really doesn't play that much of a big role, rather than the most Cyrax basically fucking did was deactivate the Cyberlink Quay, and that's it. He didn't really play that big of a role, so it doesn't really bug me that much. The only thing that probably is gonna bug me is, how NetherRealms is all ESG and sweet baby bullshit. That's the only thing that worries me. But see, I can name, like, for example, if we go back to the whole Scorpion thing, I wish they what NetherRealm would have done, because gameplay wise, he has his own moves and shit, but he feels fucking bland, because it feels like, instead of like pulling the whole Tekken thing where like you still have the characters and they have the same old moves, just, made better for the next game and then add on top of that. They could have done that for Scorpion. They could have brought, for example, the ice shower back, but it could have been, made out of fire or something. They could have used the ground freeze and turned that into a fire blast or some shit that launches people. They could have added a lot of Sub-Zero's moves and
What do you think?
essentially made him Scorpion-like.
True. He needed more moves. But I wanted to ask Breezy what you think about Kuai Liang being Scorpion.
Doesn't really make sense to me, honestly. In some cases, it does make kind of sense in a little bit. To where he is Sub-Zero. Oh man, my bad, Scorpion.
Mm-hmm.
I think them not at least explaining. I mean, I guess they did in the. I mean, I didn't play the game. I like watched the story, right? So I'm just going based on the story.
Right.
Oh man,
So
you
in
didn't
this,
play the game. You're not allowed to have an opinion, man. No, sorry.
hey man, you know how they do. But like in terms of the story, like they really didn't even bring him up. Like they didn't show him. They didn't like explain. Okay, where's like Hanzo at? Like where's Hanzo? Like what? I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but at the same time, it still doesn't make sense because if you really look at how Bihan and Hanzo, not Hanzo, but Kuai Liang's competition went, it's pretty much the same outcome. You know, Kuai Liang is gonna finish URU, right? And Bihan is gonna go about with the whole cyber initiative situation.
Right.
So that's why like I'm gonna try to add a couple of things into this, right? More reasons why I feel like Liu Kang's timeline is no better than Raiden's timeline, right? Um, because just from like the Kuai Liang and Bihan situation, it's like what you said, Outworld, like how did Kuai Liang get these requirements and ability like the Hellfire? Like the only way he got the Hellfire was not only from dying, but Quan Chi gave him that power, right? So now it's kind of like, okay, either NetherRealm has to explain, like, for example, I like how they explain, okay, how does Raiden have his electric powers? Well, Liu Kang gave him the medallion.
Mhm.
Now it's like, okay, NetherRealm Studios has to explain, okay, how did Scorpion get his Hellfire if he didn't die to possess it?
Well, they explained it
So,
by saying that it was pyromancy, which is basically fire powers. Like he was born with the fire powers.
okay,
Yeah,
so
they
he was
just
born with it.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
Was that in the story or?
yeah, story wise, like he was born with his pyrokinetic powers. Like instead of
Yeah.
being a cryomancer, which is basically someone who can use ice as powers, he's a pyromancer. How that came
They
to
explained
be?
it.
Oh, go ahead.
They explained it pretty easy. They said that Outworlders naturally contain magic. Remember, Liu Kang was even talking to Raiden about it. He's like, "Why are you giving me the medallion?" Well, Outworlders, Dinians, they actually have magic. Like, because you know how Outworld is. They're like, they have magic, but not technology, right? And
Yeah.
Earthrealmers have technology, but not magic.
Well,
So that's how they explained it.
well, some of them don't. He does say that
Right.
some of them do have the ability to have magic, they just don't know that they can do it.
Ah, okay.
Essentially.
Yeah. It's
But like,
interesting. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
oh no, I just want to go to the point to where I believe that Liu Kang is no better than Raiden. Like I actually believe that Raiden is a better Elder God than Liu Kang, and I have some good points because I did see a poll of this on Twitter. Well, no, not Twitter, but YouTube, saying who's a better Elder God between Raiden and Liu Kang. And I think a lot of people either didn't play the 3D games or they're playing the game but not paying attention. Right? I'll use that terminology to where you're watching but not paying attention.
Right.
I don't. You guys probably remember this, right, or forgot, but I'll refresh your memory. But back in Deception, if you pay attention to the Raiden storyline, pretty much when well, not Deception, but Deadly Alliance, when Liu Kang died, right? Raiden went to the Elder Gods and pretty much was asking Elder Gods could he aid Earthrealm, and the Elder Gods were denying his requests. So Raiden pulled a fuck you, and he was like, "Well, I'm going to aid them anyway." So the dude literally gave up his godhood power to defend Earthrealm from the Deadly Alliance. And so far, I mean, we haven't seen anything where Liu Kang is willing to put his life on the line. I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, he's the reason why Sindel got killed in the first place by her doppelganger, right? Um, Even with like Kenshi still lost his eyes. Um, the whole competition with Bihan and Kuai Liang, that's still going on to where Bihan is evil and Kuai Liang is a good one, right? Like the whole purpose of Liu Kang's timeline was to redo what Raiden did in his timeline as an older guy. And it just seems to me is like, well, your whole point of keeping Shang Tsung and Quan Chi alive was to have miserable lives. Well, look how that panned out. Even with them, see, this is more on the fact that there's a lot of like smoke and mirrors within a story mode.
Well,
Because, well, go ahead. My bad.
well, let me interject here before you go on anymore. I want to make a couple points. The reason why I disagree with what you just said is because Liu Kang did better than Raiden because Raiden was just an elder god. There was nothing special about him. He just loved mortals and wanted to protect them. You know, that's cool and all. But Liu Kang is a titan. And Liu Kang created everything. So he's not only the titan, but he's basically the one all. If that even exists anymore, because the titan is the one that created the universe. Because if you look at the main video, he says that he created the entire realms, everything. So essentially, I'm guessing being a titan is being the one and all. I don't know. That's confusing. But here's what Liu Kang did to make everyone's lives better, right? He made it so Melina was actually human, well, an Edenian, you know, twin sister to Katana. Why he made her lesbian? I don't know why. ESG. Then he
Because he
made
was jealous.
then he made Tanya a good guy, right? Well, he didn't make her a good guy. He just gave her a better life, and she became a good guy. He made it so that all the bad guys, it's not that he made them suffer, it's rather that he gave them meaningless lives so they wouldn't become the bad people that they became. The reason they became the way that they are is because of Titan Shang Tsung and being part of another timeline coming in and essentially ruining Liu Kang's plan. So what Liu Kang basically tried to do was give everyone a peaceful life, but allowing everyone else to have the free will to choose that. So if it wasn't for the intervenience of Titan Shang Tsung or the original Shang Tsung, Quan Chi would still be in the mines. Shang Tsung would still be some poor guy trying to rip people off and probably dead, dying. Shao Kahn will still be Sindel's bitch. So I'd say he did better simply for the fact that even though he could have just wiped them out of reality, he still tried to give them a life. He just didn't give them a meaningful one, so they wouldn't become the bad people that they became. But they still turned out that way thanks to Shang Tsung. Like, for example, he didn't have to bring back Shang Tsung, but he did, and he at least gave him, you know, a normal peasant life like everybody else. Shao Kahn at least got to be a general, you know, a high-ranking general and basically a hero. But he let that pride get to him, and Shang Tsung used it against him like a dumbass.
Why couldn't Liu Kang have just given Quan Chi, Shang Tsung, and Shao Kahn, or General Shao, a great life? Give them 10 kids apiece, family men that had wealth, men that were happy. Would they have still turned out to be evil?
Yeah, look at General Shao. He has all that, and he still became bad.
I have a rebuttal to that.
All right, go ahead.
Because you kind of proved my point with it, right? Because, like you said, Liu Kang's a Titan, right?
Right.
How was a Titan getting one-shotted by Sindel, right? Because my thing is this: when they arrived, right, they were on Earthrealm. It isn't to where, like, obviously, if you're on a different, realm, you can't use your powers. That's more of just smoke and mirrors. Because you're a Titan.
Actually, I can explain that. That's the one part I forgot to mention. So when Liu Kang created the universe and whatever, right, and gave everyone life, and you know he's been alive for millions and millions of years, and etc. What he did before he went back to the realm of mortals was he gave up his powers of a Titan. So he essentially
he gave up everything.
Yeah, he gave up everything
to become Earthrealm's protector.
Yeah,
that's all he is now.
Yeah, he became a demigod, because he gave up all his Titan powers and placed it in some stupid statue Well, he thought he gave it up entirely, but Geras put it in a statue just in case he needed his powers back.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like
see, that's
Garrus.
my thing
Yep.
though. But that's my thing though. Raiden has he's already proven this numerous times of giving up his godhood to protect Earthrealm. For example, the animated movie. And yes, I'm going there because I think and to me, I feel like this is, it's factual, and I feel like it stands as, part of Mortal Kombat, right? Even though it's anime movies.
Mm.
In the Battle of the Realms, right, where literally Earthrealm is on the line, Raiden gave up his godhood powers to help Earthrealm in this tournament.
He did
So
the same thing in the Mortal Kombat 2 movie.
Exactly, and he's done it numerous times to where, like, that's why I keep saying that, where people aren't really paying attention to what Raiden is doing, because most of the things Liu Kang is already doing in his timeline, Raiden's already done it. For another example, Raiden sacrificed his godhood and gave it to Liu Kang because he trusted Liu Kang to be better than him. Because the whole point of having a master and a student is your student overcoming the master.
Yeah, he's oppressing the
Right.
master, yeah.
So in me, if anything, Raiden is a selfless elder god. Like, he doesn't care about giving up his godhood powers. Just he would do it in an instant just to protect Earthrealm.
Right. And the problem with that is, with your point, is that you have to understand Raiden's been a god for 11 games, right? So Raiden has more story and more times that he given up his powers in order to be, human, basically, and with electric powers and whatnot. This is Liu Kang's first time being a god, or a titan, and he gave up his powers because he knew that if he kept his powers, he would become as crazy as Kronika and start messing with everything. So he did it in order to prevent himself from, like Drew just said, he basically prevented himself from being corrupt.
This is a little bit open.
From basically being corrupted by the bullshit that Kronika was trying to do, because Kronika was trying to balance everything. Every time the good guys had more power, Kronika will restart time. Every time the bad guys had more power, Kronika started, because she wanted everything to be equal, like NetherRealm and their ESG. So even which is ironic, because they're telling themselves right there that that's never gonna work. Trying to make this equity bullshit with among people with all this political nonsense that I won't get into. But yeah, so this
as soon as they started messing, my bad.
Oh, I'll just finish real quick. So essentially, again, this is just Liu Kang's first time, so I can't really hold that against him, but he did do it for a selfless reason. One, he wanted to be closer to the mortals, because essentially what happened in this timeline is that his role and Raiden's role reversed. So instead of being a god, he's a titan who made himself a demigod and basically started training Raiden, as to where Raiden became a demigod because he loves humanity. So it's essentially the same thing. It's just one has one game where he started being a god, and the other one had like 11 games before that.
Yeah, this is going to sound like preaching to the choir, but the moment that they started messing with time travel is they screwed up the lore, like bad.
Yeah, and I agree.
Like really bad. Like, and now it's like you don't know, you can't remember which timeline is aligned with what, because Liu Kang right now, all he is Raiden. Right, he's basically Raiden with fire powers. And unless no, he took back that statue, right?
Yeah, he's a titan again, but he's dying apparently. Apparently by taking his powers back, it somehow made it so he's still mortal somehow. So like he drained his lifespan to be a titan again, and now he has a limited time, so he's spending that trying to like keep the realms, at peace. So basically what Raiden couldn't do, Liu Kang did, and after he became a god, and try to make everyone's life better. But some people, thanks to Shang Tsung's bullshit, because we know that Liu Kang is from the original timeline, right? and he's the only person that besides Shang Tsung who doesn't exist anymore. From from the original timeline, but now we know that there's like 20 like millions of different Titans now because Katana came back as a Titan, Raiden came back, so all these other Titans are basically what ifs. What if those guys survived Mortal Kombat 9 and became Titans or whatever? But
history is going to repeat itself because Liu Kang is going to no longer be able to become Earthrealm's protector, and Raiden is just going to step in.
Probably, yeah.
See, then I had to disagree on this one again because, you said how everything in Raiden's timeline is pretty much mostly his fault, right? Well, I would use double advocate by saying that, well, if anything, Geras and Liu Kang, if they actually used their brain, they could have known, Titan Shang Tsung is the one who's behind the whole quote-unquote Damashi shit, right? Because the whole purpose of Geras is he's the keeper of time. He's the guardian of time. Like, he's the one to pretty much to alert Liu Kang, hey, man, this is what's going down. This is what's happening. And this is why
Liu snitch.
Exactly, like this is why I believe that both of these guys are complete idiots when it comes to actually planning and overlooking timelines, because they could have prevented, evil Sindel killing the good Sindel. They could have prevented Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, resurrecting, the whole Dragon King army situation, right? They could have prevented Shao Kahn for, trying to overthrow Outworld, right? All these situations is because of Liu Kang, because Liu Kang being that, he's not paying attention to what's in front of him, and pretty much Geras sleeping on the clock. These guys allowed. But that's what it is, man.
Well, hold on.
But think about it. Like Geras. Look, Geras, he's chilling in that clock tower. I guess a clock tower, whatever, the whole time, right? So his only job is just to guard that the whole time situation, right? But it's like, dude, like your job is to do that, and you can't even sense that this guy is Titan Shang Tsung is quote unquote Damashi, and he's the one that's manipulating Shang Tsung and Quan Chi to do all his bidding. Like, I don't understand that.
The problem with that is that, so when MK11 happened and they had to recreate everything, they figured that there were gonna be no more other timelines because all the timelines at that point got destroyed at the end of MK11, which makes sense. Then Liu Kang gave up his power, so he doesn't have that Titan power anymore to look into all that. That's why he needed to get it back in order to figure out if there was more timelines. Geras is only the keeper of time for that timeline, so he couldn't have figured it out. But he does figure it out in the story, because in the story he's like, I did some digging. There weren't supposed to be any other timelines, but it turns out that there is more timelines. And then they were like, what? That's impossible, because this whole situation would have destroyed all the timelines and only had one. What happened was that in Mortal Kombat 11's aftermath is what happened is what basically created more timelines. Because like in the original timeline, Liu Kang wins, right? And that's Mortal Kombat 1. But because Shang Tsung went back in time when Liu Kang was a Titan and took the crown, he became a Titan himself, which splintered another timeline into that. And then all that did was make more timelines that should have not existed in the first place.
I want to go destroy every hourglass. I'm tired of timelines.
But hold on. Like I said, like you kind of like, you called it, right? You definitely called it, Seeker. He found out way after, I just realized that there's multiple timelines. Like I said, Geras is falling asleep on the clock. Like I said, your only purpose is literally the keeper of time. You are the guardian of it. You're the one who is supposed to be protecting this stuff, and anything that goes down, you let the big boss Liu Kang know. And it's like, dude, that's why
Right.
I always feel like the
But
Aftermath DLC in Mortal Kombat 11, I always felt that was the what if scenario. Because if you really look at Liu Kang's timeline, right, going based on his timeline, that should have been the conclusion of Mortal Kombat,
right,
right?
and Aftermath is the one that opened the other extra timelines because, like I said,
Yeah.
he didn't know for a couple reasons. He destroyed all the timelines and created a new one, but he didn't know that by sending Shang Tsung back to the past, he had created another one. He just thought everything was destroyed. He got rid of his power, so he no longer can tell. And the problem with Geras is that Geras is the time guardian, but he's the time guardian of one single timeline, right? So he can only see the timeline that he's currently in. He can't see all the other ones. That's why he didn't know. And the fact that he figured out after examining the new character, which is apparently a sexy version of fucking what's her face, Chronica. God damn. She looks fine in that costume. He figured out that the essence of her is essentially from a different timeline, and that's when they're like, wait, what? There's other timelines? There's not supposed to be other timelines because we destroy them. So
Right.
because their powers are because the Titan that could have figured it out was no longer a Titan, and Garrus's powers only work on his timeline. And when I mean his timeline, I just mean like the time powers that he has only works on his timeline unless he already knew there was other ones, but he didn't know because they both thought that only their timeline existed because Liu Kang destroyed every timeline except that one.
You remember in the end of MK11, you let me win. You used, and Liu Kang was like, I used your own arrogance against you. But then, remember when Garrus, in MK1, Garrus mentions the name Shang Tsung to Liu Kang? You see how triggered he gets?
Yep.
His arrogance, he thought he had made the perfect world. He thought that he had done it right the first time. And then all of a sudden, Garrus shows up with bad news, and you can see the arrogance in Liu Kang's face because he was like, Garrus said, well, you're enjoying or you're relishing your rule, your realm is, he's just talking good about it and everything. But then as soon as that bad news came in, Liu Kang's arrogance got the best of him. So I thought that was interesting.
Well, I want to say something right quick, right? And I'm not, getting at you, Seeker. I'm mainly getting at Interest for this, right? Because
no, you're good.
this is where I don't like Interest's writing, because if you're gonna give someone the title of Keeper of Time, right? Because time in itself, right? That can be any timeline, right? Like for example, right? I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Barry Allen, the Flash.
Right.
Like he can tap into the Speed Force, but it's not just in the current timeline. It's numerous timelines. This is why Flash is one of the most powerful DC characters of all time, because of the fact that he can tap into any timeline and literally change the current timeline, right? But for Geras to have the title of Keeper of Time, like, dude, your job is to protect and guard the time. Even if there's other timelines, you would know about it, because if we look back at MK11, Geras is immortal. He has lived throughout numerous timelines.
Right, but Garrus's powers are not Titan powers. His powers are limited. That's why I said what I said, that his powers only work in that timeline. So he couldn't have saw that until he saw the anomaly, because he did see the anomaly when Shang Tsung showed up as Chronica, and then he started investigating it because it didn't make any sense, and then he figured out that other timelines exist, but that's beyond his power because he's not a Titan. He's only a keeper of the time in that realm. Like, think about all the realms being one universe, right? His powers only go to that universe. They don't surpass that. You have to be Titan level like Liu Kang was, because he can't Geras cannot work the what the fuck is it
Hourglass.
called? The hourglass. That's the Titan's duty. And because there is no Titan anymore for the hourglass, because Liu Kang figured that his powers already faded away when he gave them up, he didn't know that Geras put him in a spot just in case he needed them back. Again, it just comes to power limited power, and Geras couldn't have figured that out because he's not a Titan.
So I have a question, because I'm just a little confused because like I did play MK11, and the way they were portraying and the way Gears was portraying himself, right, is that this is this guy who has lived throughout multiple timelines, right?
Right, with Kronika.
And I'm trying to see what, like, was there like a reset in his character wise to where like he came to Liu Kang's like timeline to where like he's
So what I'm thinking is he has to be loyal to whoever the Titan is, right? And since Kronika was a Titan for millennia, and I mean, countless timelines, because think about it like this. Kronika is the only Titan of time, right? So that means that she knows that there's a whole bunch of other timelines. And since Liu Kang is not that well versed in his own powers, by the way, because he just got them. He even says it. He's like, yeah, these powers, I didn't have them. They were forced upon me. So when I destroyed every other timeline, there was only supposed to be this one. But it turns out that because right when he created everything, right, he gave up his powers. So he couldn't tell because he wasn't a Titan anymore. And because Geras is no Titan at all, he couldn't have figured it out either because his powers, think about it like this. I'm a Titan, I'm a Titan, right? And I have a Geras. My Geras, his powers are only to watch this timeline. His powers do not transcend mine in order to know if there's other timelines or not. He can only assume that there's no other timelines because I told him I destroyed every other timeline, but I took my powers away and didn't check if there was other timelines because I had to assume that there's no more because I destroyed them all. But I failed to realize my own stupidity. I sent Shang Tsung back in time in order to help them and forgot and didn't know that was going to create another timeline, because essentially what I think happened to Liu Kang is his ignorance got the better of him, because he figured that if he sent Shang Tsung back, he already had won, right? And because he destroyed all the timelines, then he figured that no other timeline would exist, so he gave up his powers. But then we find out that was not the case.
Can I say something real quick? Can I say something real quick, and then I'm going to have to go in just a second. But Geras is a fixed point in time. He was created for two reasons. One was to protect the hourglass. That was like his number one duty. Because every creature had a design under Kronika, and he's a fixed point in time, meaning he can't die. But also that means if he's a fixed point in time, then he doesn't age. He doesn't, And so his second duty was to protect Kronika, because Kronika was in charge of the timeline, and Geras knew that if Kronika fell, then the timeline would collapse and everything would be gone.
Yeah.
So that's why he did it. And so Liu Kang saw that in Geras. Basically, the loyalty, the strength, the commitment to keeping the realms balanced by protecting the hourglass. So whenever Liu Kang, he must have found Geras at the bottom of the river of blood. But either way, he took on Geras, and the good thing about that is that Geras actually became more like, he's not human, but he became more caring. Like before, he was just a machine, right? He was just this being that's like, you can't stop me. You can blow me up and I'll form together like the T-1000. I'll keep coming at you no matter what. And then in the new game, I've always liked Geras as a character. Just because of his origin. He's created for one duty, which is awesome.
Right.
And I like the wrestling stuff. But Liu Kang took him on, but Geras didn't know about multiple Titans and all that other stuff. Right?
Yeah.
So he couldn't pass that knowledge to Liu Kang anyways.
Yeah, and also the fact that Geras does mention this. He mentions that Liu Kang created him. So that means that it might not even be. It could be the same Geras, maybe, or maybe a recreation of the original Geras with all his past memories.
Yeah, it's the same Garrus because he recalls the past. He knew they were the only two that knew the battle with Chronica and what had happened and how each character
Yeah.
would grow up, like Raiden and whatnot, and knew what they would be. That's how them two together shaped the universe.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Unless you get the ending with Katana, because then you would have Katana, Liu Kang, and Garrus, and I don't want to see that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing made no sense. I'm guessing what happened was that the original Raiden stays with Liu Kang, but dies because he's immortal. And essentially, because like I said, it's weird because Geras says to Liu Kang, "Hey, you created me. You're my creator." So I'm guessing that he reconstructed Geras, but made him a good guy or something. I don't fucking know what that means, personally.
Yep. It's a lot of people hate on Geras. I like him as a character.
He's
I like
not bad.
MK11 as well.
Yeah, I don't mind Garrus. I just think where my confusion leads with the whole story is that, this like I'm still not understanding why people shit on Raiden as an elder god, but give Liu Kang a pass. Because my thing is, I think having a Titan as a villain, right, like Shang Tsung, is more of a problem than Shao Kahn. Because we're talking about someone who can shapeshift time itself, right? Versus someone who can just take over a realm, which theoretically, based on the lore, you can't do that unless you go through Mortal Kombat. And granted, yeah, in MK9, most of the Earthrealm defenders died in the process, but Raiden even said it for himself that the Elder Gods would not allow an invasion. So that's why the Elder Gods came in and killed Shao Kahn, right? But it's like with Liu Kang's timeline, there really isn't no rule that is set in stone to where you can't invade other timelines without this and this happening. Like a prime example, right? I'm gonna give you a prime example. In Dragon Ball Super, during the Trunks timeline, right? There was actually a rule that you couldn't, travel in time, whether this was with Trunks or Goku Black. Like both people, they were getting penalized for traveling in time, because at that point, Zeno was going to step in and erase both of them, right? So like in Liu Kang's timeline, there really isn't no penalty involving jumping other people's timelines compared to Raiden's. Where there's a rule set in stone to where you can't invade realms.
Right, because Zeno is basically the problem with the comparison is that Liu Kang is a god, but he's not like god like Zeno. Zeno can see through like time and space, essentially. You know what I mean? Like his god powers are beyond what Liu Kang can do, because these people are gods and all, but they're very limited in what they can and can't do. Like, for example, the Elder Gods are the most powerful beings besides the Titans, and they don't ever step in unless, like in MK9 where Shao Kahn, broke the rules, and that's when they decided to step in and kill him.
I was about to mention that.
And
because there's a difference between invasion and merging the realms.
Yeah. And the other factor is, again, they didn't know that other timelines existed because he wiped them all out and he took away his own power. And what was the other thing I wanted to say? The reason people hate Raiden is a stupid reason. It's basically the same reason Liu Kang started hating Raiden. They put the blame on the wrong person, because all that Raiden was trying to do was listen to his future self, and he didn't understand the message because it was just, he must win. Yeah, that tells you a lot. So he had to like decrypt that on his own, Now the war, they also blame him because everyone dies, but it's not his fault that everyone dies. For example, Kung Lao died because of his own stupid arrogance.
Yeah, his own arrogance.
Right?
Exactly.
Kitana and everybody else fucking died because instead of piling up on Sindel, they all decided for fucking some stupid reason to all fight 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1, and they all just got fucking destroyed. Like at that point, when 2 people die, you might want to think that maybe everyone should group up, but no.
I give Raiden is my second favorite Mortal Kombat character of all time, but I do give him shit, and it's mostly like for fun. But there are a few issues that I did have with Raiden when it came to how do I say this? Raiden got tricked, right? Because just like in this game, Liu Kang in MK1, Liu Kang gave Raiden the amulet, and he said it's forged by the Elder Gods. Right, this will give you power. But in the original timeline, Raiden was given the amulet directly from the Elder Gods, not passed down through anyone else. And Kronika used that amulet to screw with Raiden's mind.
Yeah.
Right. So he made bad decisions. I give him shit because I'm not a fan of Dark Raiden.
Oh, I love Dark Raiden.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends do too. I might be the only one that doesn't like Dark Raiden, but some of the stuff that they made him do, like his rage whenever he not in MK9, it was perfect because Liu Kang attacked Raiden, right, and he deserved to get cooked like a fried chicken, right? But in the other game, they tried to make it like that it was destiny that the two of them had to fight, and it had to be Dark Raiden, and I just didn't like it. And the way
that wasn't making no sense to me.
Yeah, it's like no, they didn't have conflict in MK9. They didn't like each other, and yes, Liu Kang stepped up and got cooked, but it wasn't meant to be. Raiden didn't mean to kill him.
Right.
And then it's like Dark Raiden. All of a sudden, what kind of what kind of representative does Earthrealm have when Raiden will teleport into your temple with a severed head and throw it at you and tell Liu Kang and Liu Kang and Kitana, I'm tired of being nice. I'm going to attack you. Just fucking, I just didn't like it.
Well, the problem is that even in the original timeline before MK9, Raiden, when he became Dark Raiden, he became evil. He basically was corrupted. And essentially what he started doing was like, oh, I'm sick of everyone's shit because he's corrupted. So he killed Shujinko for doing the whole Naga thing, even though he got deceived and that wasn't really his fault. He started killing people. He's like, yeah, I'm no longer going to be that nice Raiden. Now I'm going to kill anyone. So basically what MK9 Raiden is Dark Raiden is essentially what the original Dark Raiden was. He killed everyone. He's like, no, you attack Earthrealm, I will kill you. If you don't listen to me, I will kill you. Like, he was not fucking playing.
But the difference between that was he wasn't corrupted by the amulet. He was just in the old time world.
He was enraged.
3D era. He was just like, man, look, fuck all this nice shit, man. All this fucking poster boy goody two shoes, man. That shit played out. It's not working.
Raiden tell Liu Kang in the first Mortal Kombat, the chosen one has to be pure of heart.
Yeah,
the Earthrealm's protector must be pure of heart. That's not Raiden is definitely not pure of heart, and he's Earthrealm's protector at that point.
Well,
I get it. He's wanting to be aggressive, right? He's wanting to fight back, and because
the issue is
these other realms keep attacking, so I get it.
The issue with Dark Raiden is, so in the original timeline, this is before, when I say original, I mean before MK9 was a reboot. Raiden became corrupted because he sacrificed himself. So all the darkness or whatever that he tried to take care of went inside him, and he's like, no, fuck this. And then in MKX, the reason he becomes evil is because Shinnok corrupts the Jinsei. So Raiden had to take all that corruption into himself in order to purify it, because he's a pure. Oh
yeah,
he's a good guy. He's pure.
And same, and that's
what fucked him over.
And that's more reasons why Raiden is a way better protector Earthrealm than Liu Kang. You see her?
Oh yeah.
Like Raiden is willing to sacrifice his own self for the safety of Earthrealm.
Well, so
Like-
so was Liu Kang, but you have to understand the point that I keep making. Raiden has 11 games of story. Liu Kang only has one as a god, and he barely
I
gets
know.
to do much. So, like, I get what you're saying,
I get
but
that. Yeah.
but the comparison doesn't work because one had more time as a god and had more story as a god, and one just became one. So, like, it's hard
We
to
gotta
like.
give Liu Kang a chance.
It's hard to
give-
say. It's hard to say that Liu Kang's doing bad because it's his first time, and in his first time, he basically created peace. And Raiden couldn't do that because Raiden's not a Titan. Raiden is just a normal god. He's not. He's below the Elder. Actually, no, that's false. Raiden was an Elder God who gave up his Elder God status to become a normal god, a
Right.
demigod, and then he gave up his demigod powers to become mortal, right? And then he had
Self-sacrifice.
and then self-sacrifice,
I mean-
and that corrupted his soul, in both timelines. And then
And
Liu Kang only has one time as a god where he takes off his Titan powers and becomes a demigod, but he still like puts his life out there to save everybody because he was able to create a universe that Raiden was fighting for. But Shang Tsung fucked it all up.
Hey
here's the
guys,
thing.
I apologize, Breezy, but I got to run, and I appreciate both y'all. Thanks for having me on,
Yep.
Seeker. I got one last thing before I go.
All right, go for
For
it.
the Lin Kuei.
This guy.
For the Lin Kuei, you Shirai Ryu dog. Take care, guys.
All right, my guy.
Take care. But I was like saying like back to my point, right? To where I was saying to where I think a lot of people they're on the high horse of Liu Kang in terms of him being a better elder god. That's why I was saying that I think a lot of people they really aren't paying attention because majority of the new Mortal Kombat fans, majority of them, they've overshadowed the original Mortal Kombat fans in terms of like the 3D era because a lot of people from this generation has never played those old 3D games, so they don't
Right.
understand like the actual deep story that Raiden had in those games.
Right.
So it's like anyone that started playing Mortal Kombat, you started playing it towards MKX, right? So
Right.
that's where a lot of people going around saying that how Liu Kang is a better elder god and protector of Earthrealm than Raiden is like, well, how do we know that? And I agree with you because I even said to them, I was like, we're talking about someone who's only had one game compared to someone who has more than 5, more than 10.
Yeah, he had 11 games too. But the problem, see, I agree with what they say, but I also disagree with it because, like I said earlier, they basically are blaming Raiden for the shit that happened, but it's not really his fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was everyone died because of their own stupidity, to be honest. Like Liu Kang died by accident, but apparently he's always destined to die according to Chronica. And every timeline he's supposed to fight him, so Raiden said, "Fuck that, let me give him my powers and whatnot." And yeah, for the 11 games that Raiden got, yeah, he did the best that he could. And I can't take that away from him, but even though the problem is the power balance, right? So Raiden is just a normal god, so he can't really affect the universe at all, right? He's just a protector. That's all he's doing. He's just protecting Earthrealm. And the best way he can and because he's an elder god or was an elder god that stepped down in order to, to watch the games and whatnot, the tournaments, he couldn't even fight in the tournaments because, he's a god and that wouldn't be fair. So he had to take away his god powers in order to even fight in the tournament. But the problem is that Liu Kang is not a god or an elder god. He's beyond that. He's a Titan who created the whole universe. So he already got given more power than Raiden could ever have. And he created a timeline where there's peace. Problem is that it's like, I don't want to bring religion into it, but I guess is a good example.
Oh, you can.
It's like, God is all powerful and all knowing and et cetera, but he doesn't force his will on people. He lets people have their free will, whether he likes it or not. He purposely limits his power in order for his people to have free will. So it's the same thing with with Liu Kang. Liu Kang basically limits his power as a Titan, which essentially would be God, essentially in his position, in order for the mortals to have free will. So he can create a peaceful world, but it's up to them to keep it peaceful. Because if God kept interjecting in everyone's life, do you really have free will? Free will is created so that you can choose to basically hate or love people. You know what I mean? Because if you're just robots that have to be taken care of every 5 seconds, it's like a child. You can't protect your kid. If you have a kid, you can't protect your kid every 5 minutes from the world. You have to let them understand that on their own half the time how the world works, so they learn. You can only guide them, but you can't really like force them to do what you want them to do, because then that's not love.
Yeah, exactly.
And in a sense, Raiden is not a Titan. Raiden couldn't change the timeline to his benefit, but Liu Kang could. So that's why he made it peaceful. The only problem with his idea was that he forgot what happened with Shang Tsung, and that's what fucked him over.
No, I'm agreeing. Like, I'm definitely agreeing. I just think that from my perspective, I think there's some holes
Oh yeah,
in
definitely, man. Because like
Liu Kang's blueprint.
Like,
Because I mean, I won't even say him. I just think it's just the writing. Because like
it is
I've
the
always
writing, yeah.
said that. I always said that rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. But the NRS writers are just like Akira Toriyama, to where Akira Toriyama, I'll give you perfect examples. Like this guy he literally writes on the fly. And there was an interview to where a fan asked him about the Z Sword, which was in the Buu saga.
Right.
And he was like, "What's the Z Sword?" So it's like even writers of their own creation, they tend to like write shit down and they just forget what they wrote like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I think with like, because I'm definitely with y'all. Like I'm tired of the whole multiverse bullshit. Like it's just, and for me like me honestly, the reason why it somewhat doesn't work in Mortal Kombat is because there's not a lot of characters to do that anyway, compared to like Marvel and DC. Like Marvel and DC, they have so many characters to play with when it comes to that multiverse stuff. To where in Mortal Kombat, there's literally under 100 characters.
Oh, okay.
Maybe almost close to 100 characters, to where it's like you can't play around with multiverse stuff like that until like you hit to like over 200, maybe like 500, something like that. Then okay, I can see the concept of doing that.
Here's the part where I disagree. I like that they did the multiverse thing. I just don't like how they executed it. Like I said earlier, like they didn't have to bring multiple versions of themselves. They could have just brought different characters in. And actually they do have a whole bunch of characters. They have more than like 200 characters. It's just that they always want to bring back the same fucking 10 characters for some reason. Like if you play their mobile games have like fucking hundreds of fucking characters that we don't even get to see in the game, or they're just NPCs that they don't want to use for some reason as characters or anything. Like, for example, if you played the Onslaught, which I had to, so I can get the announcer voice for Sub-Zero, there's a female Lin Kuei who uses ice powers, but she uses it in such a badass fucking way. We don't see that in Mortal Kombat at all. Every time the Lin Kuei show up, they're just there. They don't do anything. They don't talk. They don't say shit. They have no personality. You have Shirai Ryu warriors. You have the comic book who showed that one Shirai Ryu guy, Forest Fox, essentially. You have him. You have special forces people. You have spirit characters. Like in Onslaught, there's like a female ninja that looks like a zombie from hell, but they don't use her in the main game. They just all they do is all these like hundreds of characters that they have, they always toss them into mobile games. I don't know fucking why, instead of bringing them into the normal game so we can have more and more characters to interact. I think that the whole multiverse thing was needed in order to actually reboot the series for Mortal Kombat 1, but like I said, they fucked up in the sense that they try to like do this whole like Armageddon shit, but with like different versions of the same fucking character. It's just fucking lazy. And I agree with you. There's a whole bunch of plot holes because like Liu Kang is supposed to be the god of thunder and fire, but in this game he's just the god of fire for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. It doesn't make any sense.
like most of the stuff makes no goddamn sense. So like there's a lot of plot holes because of bad writing. Then there's also bad writing because of this whole ESG bullshit, you know, because apparently Melina had to magically become lesbian. Tanya had to become magically lesbian. All the combat kids fucking aren't even here. And then they died. And the whole Armageddon bullshit. Dairo is now Havoc. Like, they could have done so much stuff, but they focus more on stupid shit. Or at least they focus on things that matter, but they didn't go too deep into them. You know what I mean? Like, for example, a lot of the characters that we don't see, we see them all in the endings. It's like, well, all right, so Cyrax and Sector exist, but where the fuck were they? You only get to see them in an ending. Onaga's alive, but you only get to see him in an ending. You have Kodo Khan, who's still in the game, but we never see him. Like, most of the shit that they did was rushed. It's a rushed game. So, of course, the story, the concept for the story is good. It's just, it failed badly because it's rushed. They didn't take it, like, even Ed Boon said, they asked him if they wanted to make different games, and they were like, yes, but we can't make different games because everyone keeps wanting Mortal Kombat, and he's not very happy about working in Mortal Kombat all the time. He wants to do other shit, but people want Mortal Kombat. It's like, well, you created a good series, so it's too fucking bad.
Yeah, too bad. You gotta. It's like with the whole like Dragon Ball Z shit. Like Akira Toriyama works on other stuff, but people just gravitate toward Dragon Ball Z because that's the most popular thing. I mean, I granted, I do like agree with that aspect to where people like Mortal Kombat, but I think to make your franchise more appealing, sometimes you have to change up the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like when people say how, oh well, I don't like how they stopped doing tournaments. Well, if we had every game to where it's just focused around the tournament scene, that shit would be fucking like the story it'll be first of all, it'll be predictable, right?
Yep.
And then it'll get boring because you'll know, okay, well, this guy is gonna go up the ladder. He's got to fight Kentaro, Goro, something like that. Then he's got to fight Shao Kahn, or you got to fight Shang Tsung. Like it will get boring and boring. So like I think them leaving the tournament route and start focusing more on like the Deadly Alliance story, which I really like that story a lot.
Yep.
And then going to the Deception story, and then doing the whole Armageddon situation where it's good versus evil. Like that's where I started like, okay, like they're expanding out on different storylines, right? Instead of just focusing just on the tournament arc situation.
Yeah, because you can, like you said, and I've been making this argument too, because people get mad. I was like, oh, no tournament. There's no tournament. This, that, and the fourth. It's like, look, you can only do so much with a fucking tournament before it starts getting fucking boring and tiring.
Exactly.
So you have to expand that story beyond the tournament, right? So the way that they did the tournament in this one makes it's better. Because the tournament is not about well, it's still the same tournament, but it's more like friendly competition rather than these people like murdering each other. You know what I mean? And it's to stop people from like, oh, your realm is weak, so we're gonna take it over. So fuck you guys. But like, there's a lot of good things that came out of this whole situation. For example, Melina's actually Katana's sister for once. Like, holy shit, it's about fucking time. You know what I mean? And she actually has a face. The twin sisters. Sindel gets to rule her realm without the merging. That's a good plus. Rain is a mage for some fucking reason. That was bad. Should have kept.
I like that.
They should have kept him a ninja, but apparently, Ermac looks like Lord Voldemort. Shit. Shao Kahn being Sindel's bitch makes sense because like people complain about shit like that, like even the Kuai Liang thing, but again, you can only do so much with Scorpion's revenge and bullshit. What else can you do with Scorpion if Scorpion already had his whole like redemption arc? He became a wraith. He let his anger get the better of him. He finally starts to see the light. He becomes human again with pyro powers now. and he dies. Like, what else more can you do? If he's already a good guy, you might as well just give him a good death. The death was shit, but he's
Yeah.
dead. So that
I
ended
mean,
that.
the whole, I think honestly with the whole Daniel situation, with the whole Outworld situation, I think there's a little bit of political aspect to that, to where like I do feel like the writers, the reason why they had this big bad boss Shao Kahn under the helms of Sindel, it's more the reason why most of Daniel nowadays and now with Liu Kang's timeline is mostly females. I think like they're trying,
Yeah, the
like I said,
political
it's
shit.
yeah, it's a political shit to where it's making it seem like okay, well, women can rule over men, like which I'm like I said, it's a video game, right? Do what you please, but it's like I mean, people, I mean, for the common sense people, right? They can pretty much see through it and be like, okay, obviously they're trying to make it to where
Girl power,
the men
yeah.
have no, yeah, girl power shit. The men have no say so in Outworld. It's just all,
Yeah, which is on
men are evil.
yeah, which is unrealistic because, like, look, I don't mind that a woman's in charge. Like, Sindel is a good queen. Don't get me wrong. But this whole notion that you need female warriors to protect you and shit, like, that's not realistic. I can, like, in real life, and this is not to threaten anyone, this is just an example. I could literally smack a girl and she can snap her neck. So, if you take real life into consideration and you put that in a video game where people can rip off each other's faces off,
Yeah.
that's not very realistic. Like, even Shao Kahn proves this when he starts killing all the Omgadi females. And it's not to shit on the females, but there's a physical reality even in video games. Unless the females are some kind of gods, which they're not, you're not gonna really beat Shao Kahn, and he's just gonna slaughter them. So if one guy can do that, can you imagine a group of legions of men? Like, but we know that it's a political ESG bullshit because it's so fucking baffling and unrealistic that it's like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I could understand her being the queen and having male bodyguards and shit, but how are you gonna have a whole male army, right, with some females in it, of course, which makes sense, but yet your elite guards are all gonna be female? That makes no goddamn sense. Like, one guy in the military just killed them all, and he's just a general. How are they gonna how the fuck are they gonna protect you, Sindel? Like, come on now, like, use your brain. But we all know it's just that ESG bullshit. Because now, like, all the guys look feminine as shit in some way or form. They're all pretty boys. The girls are all boss bitches. It's just fucking bad. It is.
Yeah,
bad,
it's a lot of bad shit, man. And it's like, and like I said, man, I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat, right? And that's why I shit on it so much, because I'm a fan.
Right.
Like, I wanted to go back to its element, which I already know is not gonna go back to its element. This is why I keep saying that Mortal Kombat should just be a single player game from now on out, right? Because from my perspective of me competing in NRS titles, right? Like, they've already did their time in terms of competing, well, doing a fighting game aspect, right? Because now, like, the reason why I'm saying that they should only focus on single player is because their story is really good, but the reason why it's lacking a little bit, because there's so much that they can only focus on story, because they got to focus on gameplay and then cosmetics and then patching, all these characters and whatnot. So they have little time to focus actually on story mode, which I do believe if they turn Mortal Kombat to a single player game, it will have a great story, because now you have all the time to focus it on just single player content,
See, where I think they fucked up when it comes to story is the fact that they made it cinematic. What they should have done, because I'm an artist and I made some video game stuff and whatever. What they should have done was they should have went back to the whole conquest mode formula. First of all, it's easier to make, right? You spend less money on it. All the money that you spend on making a movie for a single player that you only get to play twice, and well, twice a chapter, I guess, because you only get a couple fights. They could have spent that in building a whole open world, right, for conquest mode, where you as a character can either create your own character or you play as one fucking character, whoever the fuck it is. Raiden, for example, right? Because it's basically Raiden's the main character here, even though he doesn't get treated like the main fucking character for some reason. You could have had the open world, right? And most of the shit that you put in cinematic, you could have just put in text writing. That's less time. That's less money you have to spend on voice acting, right? That's less money you have to spend on fucking cinematics. All you had to do was make an open world game where you open chests and find story lore. You can talk to characters and get story from them. You can look at like wallpapers and shit, interactables that can tell you story. You can find secret stuff, secret characters, and etc. And all of that could have told you a well thought out, a very well rich storyline instead of using all the cinematic. The only time you should have used cinematic is on the really important shit. You know what I mean? Like when you beat the bosses, or like if it means something, which means you have to spend less money. Everything else you could have figured out by playing the fucking game and searching hidden stuff and etc.
Yep.
But they didn't do that.
Agree.
That's where they fucked up. And the story could have been great, because when you have a story mode that's mostly text, you can do a lot with that, because all you're doing is typing. That's it. That's your only job, to type the fucking story, and then choose where you place it.
So kind of go back to where like the character endings now, to where it's like, not now, but it's mostly like, back then in like 3 era, to where it was mainly text. It was like a picture, right? You talking about like that concept?
Yeah. So like,
okay.
All right. So the character endings could have been text as well. I don't like that whole like one fucking picture that you see and then some narrator guy shit. Like, so the story mode should have just been a character telling you lore, right? Like, have you played the Deception story mode?
I do, yeah.
You know how you have to talk to like different people at different time of day, and then you find out that this guy's Sub-Zero's ancestor, and it's not even Sub-Zero, or like you find a secret character somewhere in the fucking woods and they tell you some story and you have to fight them and shit. Stuff like that. It's all text. Like Armageddon story mode, where you just talk to people, you find items, you find lore and shit. Stuff like that. That's simple. And you could have told a better story with writing than you could have with a cinematic that makes it limited, because cinematics cost a lot of money. A lot. They're not easy to make. They cost money. Then you got to add special effects. You got to add lighting. You got to add animations and all that other shit. When you could have just had a NPC standing there, and then your main character just stands there and you just talk to them and they just tell you story, or you figure it out by looking at hidden stuff, or like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if you ever played Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I played it. Like, I see where you're going with this. Like me, I don't have a problem with cinematic. I think overdoing with too much text can be boring, because let's be honest, we're in a time now to where people don't like reading no more, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
So I think having a story mode with too much reading, people get bored of that. Right. But at the same time, we're like, for instance, right? The reason why I don't like the new God of War is because it's too cinematic. Even like the battles, like it's too cinematic.
Yeah, they hold your hand. It's fucking lame. Yeah.
Like even like the Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man 2, right? I played it. Like, it's too cinematic. Like, I don't like that in my video games. I want to be able to control the character aspect, right? I want it to be something to where, I have the freedom to do what I want, but now it's just like, okay, well, I can't, because every time I go into a fucking Venom battle scene or a fucking Killer Croc or whatnot, I got this big ass fucking cutscene I gotta fucking go through. It's like, I definitely understood the point, but I think there needs to be a balance between
right. Because like
text and cinematic. Like
for the main story stuff, you can have like some text, but have the character speak the lines or whatever. But if you want to, after you mean after you beat the main story, if you want to find out the deeper lore, maybe just keep that in text or have the main character just read it out for you. You know what I mean? That would work better because I understand that because I played some MMORPGs and sometimes it's just fucking frustrating to have to like. There's like two like both of them could be a double-edged sword. Like if you have too much text to read, it gets fucking irritating. But if you have text and someone's fucking telling you while someone so let me explain that better. So essentially when I play these games, right, I like a balance of both. But I don't like having to read and then I read already and I already finished reading the fucking paragraph, but the fucking characters he'll still here taking 6 years to tell me the fucking story I already read in like in 3 seconds.
Right.
So like main story stuff, I think it should be narrated, and the text should be optional at that point for the main story. But when it comes to like the extra shit that you want to find out and you have to look for,
Yeah.
That's where like either your character reads it for you or you just read it yourself. Because like having every character tell you everything gets a fucking irritating. So like the main story stuff, you want people to narrate for you. And then when you beat the main story, or maybe like you know how Spider-Man you have to do the main story, but there's side stories that you can also do. Shit like that.
Yep.
You'll have your side missions and your side stuff quests that you can look for like extra details to find out what happened in between or in the beginning or you know, or you find out more stuff. But for the main stuff, just keep it straight and open for people to see because too much cinematics is fucking annoying. Too much text is fucking annoying. Too much of both is fucking annoying.
Yeah, exactly. But like I would use devil advocate on this situation to where like I would say that the crypt it kind of covers that, right? Because the whole purpose of crypt is you get collections, artwork. You might get like some characters that are like for instance like MK11, right? Like MK11 they explain okay what happened to Kenshi, you know, what happened to Ermac, you know, what happened to Goro, right? Like there's characters in Pacific that they show that they're dead. You know, well at least with Goro, they don't really explain what happened to Goro, right?
Yeah, you
Like there's
just find them
speculation
dead.
that
Yeah.
there's speculations that he died within like time mergers, like theories and whatnot, you know. But like the crypt, like I would say like the crypt, like not all the way, but I'll say 7 to 10. It does a pretty good job in terms of, you know, mainly with exploration, you know, collectibles, you
Yeah.
know, getting some, you know, side in terms of like story mode and whatnot. But I think like if they were to do like a Mortal Kombat game in terms of just a single player, like they can really dive deep into like the crypt situation,
Yeah,
like
but
really
then
go into it.
the problem is that then people will complain because there's no multiplayer. So like the best that you can meet, you know, in the middle ground would be have your multiplayer shit, but make the story mode conquest. And with the crypt, even you can actually be creative with that. So for example, let's say there's a whole bunch of realms you have to go through, you know, in the conquest like mode. You can have like in Earth Realm, you can have like a graveyard and where you can collect coins and then go to the graveyard and open up fucking crypt shit. You can go to the Nether Realm and find like statues and shit you can put money into and you know that's another crypt. You can go to the Chaos Realm, then there's another way to get crypt. You know what I mean? So it doesn't have to essentially be a different mode. It can just be the two same modes just put into one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That seems about right. Yeah, like have it to where you have like a tournament mode that's like strictly for multiplayer, right? Like the whole MK tournament set, you know, to where you will go up against various different players or whatnot, like being able to create your own character, right? I've always said that, you know, if they make a Mortal Kombat game or single player game, you should have it to where you create your own character, right? So it's like, for instance, I don't want to say doing the GTA route because interesting ain't got that much money to do that shit anyway. Um, but like let's say like Ghost of Tsushima, right? Ghost of Tsushima, to where like you had the main story you play like Jin Sakai, right? But
Right.
like the Legends mode, you have it to where you can actually, create your character, you know, choose the class or whatnot, do like that, kind of like the whole faction, situation MKX. You choose your faction, you know, create your character or whatnot, you know, to where let's say you want to be a part of Red Dragon, Lin Kuei, Sugar Ryu, the White Lotus, Outworlder, Edenian,
Right.
and you go into that would be a good concept, you
Yeah.
know.
And like even for like the main characters, like this game failed at that too. Like they could have had like full cut. They could have done what because I want to make a video eventually about customization, but they could have went where like the whole Tekken thing, where like instead of like just changing the different costumes completely, like you can like switch like the Mortal Kombat 1 top, maybe the Mortal Kombat 3 gloves,
Mhm.
the Mortal Kombat deception pants and stuff like that. Or and they could have even
Right.
added more to what like Armageddon did, which is basically like Tekken, where like every character has similar clothing and then you could just customize the colors. Uh like if I wanted to make Sub-Zero wear a fucking suit and I wanted to
Yeah,
fight
but
as Sub-Zero looking like a pimp, yeah, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's how that should have been. And the character creation for like Armageddon, they could have just brought that back and you could have customized your own character and it could have been simple, but they don't really care about this game, to be honest. It don't seem like they give a shit about this game anymore, to be
yeah, they
real.
don't care. I mean, obviously, it's Warner Bros. Just trying to milk the franchise and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, all honesty, I mean, like I said, like I think a lot of people, and this is where I really believe that it should go to the single player route because ever since MKX, it really showed me that most of the players here, they only care about, okay, well, I just want my character in the game. That's all I care about, right? But they don't care about anything else because I have this phrase to where I don't care about how the game looks. I care about how the game plays,
Exactly. Yeah. That's
right?
what people mostly want.
And it's like I always tell people like it's like when you understand their business practices, you start understanding how predictable they are. It comes to the point to where you know how the next game's going to be,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Because
that's why my bad.
yeah, I was just gonna say yeah, because like for example, like people are over here like, oh, but Sonia's not in the game. She's clearly in the game, and all they had to do was give her the old animations from the last game, and you could have had a Sonia in the game. Like, there's no reason for characters to be missing at all. Whether because like you have to understand, yes, there's story mode, but your story mode should not affect the character roster at all.
Mhm. I mean, definitely true. Like I definitely agree with that. Because even when then, like you have to understand, because like the one thing NRS doesn't get right that other fighting games do, for the most part, because Tekken 8's roster, in my opinion, is pretty mid. Um, but like Street Fighter, right? Like whenever you create a new game, right? There has to be your legacy. No, I would say top 8 legacy characters that automatically go into the roster every game. In the Mortal Kombat, we have Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, Sonya, Jax, Kano, Sub-Zero, Raiden, and then Scorpion.
Right.
That is your Mortal Kombat Mount Rushmore. I know it's more than four on Mortal 4, but that's like your Mortal Kombat Mount Rushmore. It comes to base characters because they've been in there since the beginning,
Right.
right? So when you create this new game and there's no Sonya, there's no Kano, there's no Jax, it's like, and then you replace them with characters like Ashra, um, Reiko, which I'm not saying Reiko's not cool. We haven't seen Reiko in a long ass time.
Right.
But when you start replacing with these characters, it's like, yo, wait a minute, what are we doing? Like, why are you throwing out some of the most fan favorite characters?
Right.
You know,
And
because you look at Street Fighter, they have, you know, Ken, Ryu, Gao, Chun-Li, Honda, Blanca. Like those are fan favorite characters.
yeah, and they're not even afraid to use old animations for the characters that they bring. So why the fuck not bring Sonya back or Jax back and just give them
Exactly.
Mortal Kombat 11's combos and shit? Like that's another thing that gets me mad because Tekken does that so well. So like every character usually plays the same. If you press these buttons, it's always gonna do that move. Plus they'll add on to those moves. Like every game they'll bring new combos, but they'll add those new combos on top of the combos they had 10 games ago. You know what I mean? Like they have hundreds of
Yeah.
combos in Tekken, but apparently that's a problem for Mortal Kombat. Like, look at this game. This game, the only character that literally feels finished is Johnny Cage. He has so many launchers, so many pop-ups, so many combos, so much shit that he can do, and everybody else feels lazy, bland, unfinished, and shit.
Yeah, definitely true. Because like, and to go back to your point about, you know, some of the Tekken moves being the same over the years, that's that's the core legacy that stays within the game.
Right.
And I don't think he was in here when I said this. Well, I told Fate and them. Oh yeah, I told Fate and Booty Hunter this. The reason why MK is always in terms of longevity, because we all know in terms of sales, they're going to sell because it's the name.
Yeah, the IP always
But
sells.
but in terms of the longevity of the game, the reason why it doesn't last longer than Capcom and Street Fighter is because of the fact that there isn't a groundbreaking mechanic that NRS has. Like, I'll ask you this question, because I asked Fate and Booty Hunter this question. Can you name me a groundbreaking mechanic that Moron Combat 1 has that can rival up to Tekken 8's Heat and Street Fighter 6 Drive? Exactly. Like,
Yeah,
there's nothing, there's like, if people say, oh, well, the cameo system is a mechanic, no, it's not.
That shit's
The
shit.
cameo system is no different from Marvel. It's no different from KOF. It's no different from Fighter Z. It's literally a tag game.
Yeah, with
They just use the whole, oh well, it's a cameo system. No, it's a tag game because
yeah.
it's a tag assist.
It's a tag game with extra bullshit layers. Like for example, like in Marvel vs. Capcom, all your tag team characters do is come out, do a move, get the fuck out. That's it. And this one, they're over here starting combos. They're over here giving you extra lives. They're over here giving you extra throw damage and all this other bullshit that doesn't need to be in the game. That shit was trash. Like if it would have been a normal assist, I would have no problems because the character comes in, the character gets the fuck out. But no, this one the whole game is based on the fact, oh, summon this character to do this shit, summon this character to do that. And then it's a problem because you only have a certain amount of characters who can ambush. So you're forced to play the same characters we see online. The same fucking shit characters. Serena, everyone's using Serena because Serena can do 4 fucking hit damage and then get you stuck to do another extra punch, then do the same goddamn thing and then do a stupid combo. Like the only cool thing that I can say Mortal Kombat 1 did when it came to gameplay was adding air combos. That was cool.
Well, that's just going back to the old days because, like, I will say this, right? Because the way I would fix Moron Combat is literally to create a mechanic to where not only the base roster characters benefit from it, but also the cameos benefit from it. Like in Street Fighter 6, right? Like I agree with Justin Wong when he said this, to where he says that there's not a bad character in Street Fighter 6 because everybody is benefiting. Every character in that game is benefiting off of the drive meter because everyone uses the drive meter the same way.
Yeah.
Right? Now obviously you got some characters, drive rush is very faster than others. But outside of that, everybody's getting plus frames off of a drive rush into a block string, right?
Right.
And the same thing with people like when you use your drive meter up and I call it the ashy mode, right? When you're ashy mode, everybody is getting hit with the same amount of pressure when they're in ashy mode.
Right.
You know, I mean, Tekken 8, everybody has their own own unique bullshit when they activate heat. But at least even though I feel like it's unbalanced, but at least Tekken 8 has that implement to where when you activate heat, everybody has bullshit,
Right.
right? But in Mortal Kombat 1, they're still stuck in the old ways into where they feel like, okay, we'll create a character and we'll just decide on the community on who's overused, who's busted, and who's low tier. Because now, because I've always said we're in a modern day era of fighting games where there's no longer a shitty character. There's no longer an unplayable character.
Right.
Like we're in the times to where every character can be utilized. And more on Combat One, unfortunately, they're still playing catch up in terms of that. You know,
Yeah. Because even the skill level for this game is fucking trash. Like your combos don't feel deserved. Your attacks don't feel deserved. Everything is given to you. Like the skill level is for someone with two brains, with half a brain cell, being able to do 50% damage on you, but it's not earned. It's just, oh, like for example, I was fighting someone, I think it was last week or a couple of days ago, I can't remember. And everything that I was trying to do to them was blocked by one fucking move, which was down one. Down one makes everything safe. That's why Mortal Kombat 1 is just a poke game, a low poke.
yeah, I agree.
Nothing feels earned because everything is either safe because of the low punch, or because when you fuck up, your cameo saves the day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're forced to play in a shitty way where it does not require skill. It's literally like basically spamming the same shit and pretending you have skill. That's basically all it is, because that's what the game forces you to do. That's why everyone plays the fucking same. You look at Scorpion. Pro players play Scorpion like Javier. If Javier plays Scorpion like that, the next Scorpion you fight is the same shit. The next Scorpion you fight is the same shit. Everyone does the same shit because there is no freedom to actually play the characters like you want them to. If I play Tekken, I'm gonna fight well, not Devil Jin, but I'm gonna fight Jin a different. Every time I fight a Jin, everyone's gonna use Jin a different way. One might use this more, one might do this, another one might do that. If I fight a June's gonna fight differently every time. If I fight a Jack, they're gonna fight differently all the time. In Mortal Kombat, it's the same shit. Sub-Zero does the same shit. Raiden does the same shit that everyone else does. Scorpion does the same shit and combos that everyone else does. Reptile does the same goddamn shit everybody else does. There's no freedom to play the character in different ways and win. It's just you're forced to play this certain way, and that's it.
Exactly. But hey, Seeker, I gotta go, man. I gotta.
No, you're good. I'm gonna have to end
for it, man.
I'm gonna have to end the live stream here anyway.
Okay, man. But it was good talking to you, dude, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you for being here. If you want to say some last words, and if you have a channel or whatever, you're gonna go pump it up if you want.
No, man. Just really good talking with you and Outworld, man. Really good, level-headed people, man. I always enjoy talking with you guys. So that's about it.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you guys for being here. It was fun.
Alrighty, man.
You have a good day.
You too, man.
All right, everyone. I appreciate you guys being here. This was my first live stream debate with Outworld and Breezy, who happens to be a former pro player, by the way. So I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys watching as long as it's been. I have a Discord that you guys can join. It's in the description of the video, or it's in my bio. You can also join Fate's Discord if you look up fight all thy enemies. on YouTube. You'll find his name, and he has his Discord on his page as well. It's a fun community. We have some pro players there as well who are not basically with their heads up their ass shilling for this game. People are allowed to disagree in both our servers, and we don't treat them like crap or anything like that. Again, thank you for being here. If you want to give me a like, a dislike, a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Appreciate it.